Portland Harbor sits quietly at twilight, the boat-lined canals reflecting the still air of the Maine coast. When a life ends, there is a natural urge to condense decades of human experience into a neat, easily digestible summary. But real people rarely fit into simple boxes. Brent Avery was difficult to categorize. He was a philosopher who could spend hours unpacking heavy concepts, and an eccentric who delighted in pure absurdity. For his closest friend, Chad, the true shape of Brent's mind revealed itself in the digital margins of their days, through thousands of text messages and late-night chats that stretched until 4 in the morning. One consistent thread holding those conversations together was a daily email newsletter Brent subscribed to, titled Notes from the Universe. These messages anchored his worldview. One note told him that he was exactly as he needed to be to maximize his life's adventure, with every trait, mannerism, and struggle chosen to see how far he could go. Reading through those archives today, it becomes clear that Brent treated these messages as more than just advice. He used them as a blueprint for how to mirror the love he wanted to see in the world. There is a peculiar phenomenon that happens to certain people. Virtual strangers will meet them and, within minutes, confess their deepest secrets. This happened to Brent constantly. The reason was written in his eyes. When he looked at you, he offered a total, disarming acceptance that made the fear of judgment disappear. He was a relentless listener. If you were struggling, Brent was the guy who would stay on the line until sunrise, analyzing the mechanics of the universe until you found a way through. But the moment things got too heavy, he'd pivot. His empathy was matched by a sharp sense of humor and some very specific pop culture obsessions. He had an academic appreciation for complex rap lyrics, constantly dissecting the intricate wordplay of artists like Eminem. Out of nowhere, he would drop into the persona of his bizarre alter ego, Marissa Broadbent, or deploy obscure quotes from The Office to force a laugh out of his friends. His inner circle called this combination of emotional intelligence and absolute absurdity Super Brent. It made everyone around him feel seen, safe, and thoroughly entertained. That radiance existed alongside an agonizing internal reality. Brent fought severe personal darkness for years. Addiction is inherently isolating. During his hardest periods, it clouded his natural warmth and disconnected him from the vibrant person his friends knew him to be. But his friends didn't see those struggles as a defining failure. To them, the addiction was just a violent, ongoing storm that Brent was constantly trying to navigate. He relied on his universe notes during these times, clinging to the idea that it takes immense courage to repeatedly rise back up after life knocks you down. Brent's character wasn't defined by the obstacles he faced, but by his relentless, exhausting pursuit of the light despite them. The physical spaces Brent occupied are undeniably quieter now. The messages have stopped, and the late-night debates have ended. But empathy has a physical property. It transfers. When one person offers that level of unconditional love, it naturally radiates outward. Brent's philosophical worldview, the belief that we are guided and supported, is now woven into the daily lives of his friends and family. He held on to a specific note toward the end, an assurance that he was watched, held, and adored, and that he had already done the impossible just by overcoming the battles he had faced. The people he left behind carry that spark forward in simple ways, by listening to strangers without judgment, and by finding reasons to laugh as loudly as possible. Brent Avery set out to see how much he could maximize his life's adventure. He finished it as what he always aimed to be, a huge ball of love that continues to change the people who knew him.